Welcome to lesson number 6 in Book D. We are starting a new position today. We have been in G position, which has been this location and this location. Now we're moving an octave up. We're taking this left hand, we're moving it one octave up. Our fifth finger is still going to be on the G. So it's really actually close to middle C position. This hand is up one. So our new note is the D. This is one they've never seen before. So the note head sits on top of the C ledger line. So it's on top. So there's a little space here between those 5 lines and where that D is. So that's our D. That's our D. It's the same as the D that is dangling from the treble clef. We'll talk about that more someday later if they need to learn that one. But this is row, row, row your boat. So we're just going to, it's in 2/4 times. So it's 1, 2, 1, and 2. And then repeat it. They're not going to want to play it that way. They're going to want to swing it, which is perfectly okay. So let them swing it. Let them play it fast if they want, as long as you're using the metronome to keep in tempo if they're having trouble with keeping it at the right speed all the way through. And then they do it again. So that's just practice in this new place. And then this one, this military bugle call, well, I like the words to this one. Can't get them up. It's like living with teenagers. Obviously, we are going to use the metronome on this because the military would expect us to have our feet perfect when we march. And so this one, 4/4 time, which is easier to count. So we count to 3. That starts on 4. This is the other tricky part with the counting here. The phrase starts not at the end of the measure, but ahead of the measure. So this is 1, 2, 3. There's our 4. Then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that's a 4, and it goes back into this little pattern here. Ritardando is an Italian word. You may have never heard that before. We've kind of stopped saying retard because it sounds like another word we're not supposed to use anymore. And now we're using I'm going to have the kids, I'm teaching the full Italian word. We're going to say ritardando. We're not going to say retard, but that's what that means. Obviously, older musicians are going to continue to say retard because everybody knows what that means and doesn't think anything about it. So retardando, it just means you slow down at the end. So even though the metronome's going to be running, we're going to just kind of ignore the metronome. If you get out of step with the metronome, you know you're doing it right. So here's our military piece to try to get the kiddos out of bed. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Obviously, I was even watching that a little too closely and kind of bobbled that a little bit. You just want to make sure that you're counting it right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and then hit 4. So they've got to watch. They've kind of got to have that in their head how many they actually play. So that's the bugle call. And then in the technique book, this is a lot easier. But we do have 2/4 time. The correct way to count it is 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and nothing else is really, we're just throwing out the 3 and 4. So when you get to here, this is 1 that holds down 1 and 2 and. So if you were to change the fraction, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then up. So that's another way to count that. I left off the front of the measure, but the first two measures, you can, they can play that, no problem. So then down here, we have a little bit of counting too. So in the style of our buglers. Note. And then the beginning. Note. Okay, so fine, that just means finish. We're going to get to more complicated stuff later. We don't have to teach them what this means here. But when they play this, they're going to want to play this and then play that one more time and then finish there where it sounds like it's resolved. So that's it for the book work this week. And continue working on the previous pieces to also to perfect those. The Alice in Wonderland is really fun, so I hope that that's still a good one for you. And the paperwork, this is just more note reading where they need to write in the names of the notes. We have this one. There's quite a bit here. This is spelling, so we can work on, I think there's some spelling here. Yeah, we have some words here. So this will keep you busy for a little while. And then also this is another one where they're asking you to write in the names of the notes. If this is too much, if your child is either an artist or just isn't old enough to really be able to do that, you could always write them in, change it up by saying, oh look, where are my mistakes? Write in a couple of mistakes and see if they can find which 2 or 3 that you messed up on. Here's some spelling here too. Same thing here. This may be way too much work to do all at once. So you may want to write in some notes here and have them write in some letters and have them find your mistakes. That's another way to change that up a little bit and make it a little bit less daunting. So, all right, I hope you have a good week.